The fuel tank had debris at the bottom, and I think that's what probably started the rust. I'm doing a 3-stage treatment on this tank, and the first one is a cleaner with some hot water. I'm now going to let it soak for about 24 hours. Off come the rear shocks, and I'm going to change the mounts and just give it a tidy up and check as well. And now just taking off the rear grille and this piece here. And now with good access I can unhook the muffler and undo the clamp and then wiggle out the rest of this through the hole. Now disconnecting the accelerator cable and then one of 3 mounts. This is the dog bone mount, then we got the snail mount, and then the lower mount which has 4 bolts. And finally, I push that button. So this old engine has had a few upgrades. It looks like a new alternator was mounted on here with a bracket, and then on the other side we have a high torque starter motor as well. So this was a fuel tank before, and then obviously I soaked it for about 24 hours, and this is what it looks like now. Now I'm cleaning out the fuel tank cavity and just blowing out all the dust, as well as just taking off any surface rust you can see here. I'm then treating it with an epoxy as well. Now undoing the 2 bolts underneath the overflow tank and then taking out the charcoal canister. I'm removing the carburetor cooling fan because I won't need that, and then also removing the emissions testing switch. And now the heater hoses and then the coil. I'm now cleaning up this area as it's prone to rusting from water being stuck and the drain holes being blocked. There isn't any rust in this area, but I am going to prep it and paint it, and as you can see this black piece covers it up anyway, so you won't see the black paint once I'm finished. I also did the same for the other side. I'm now lifting up the heat shield behind the muffler, and you can see there's some rust here and I really need to have a good look behind, so I had a quick peek and it was not good. To get out the other part of the heat shielding, I have to drill out these rivets and then pull off the piece on the side. And now wiggling out the top heat shield. Now taking out the insulation underneath the back boot. And now we get a good look at the rust situation, and it doesn't look good when you look at it like this. I went at it with the wire wheel to have a good look at how deep this rust was, and luckily I'm seeing metal here, so I'm thankful that it hasn't gone through the structural part of the car. So I cleaned it back to bare metal and then treated it once again with this epoxy. I took the engine bay shielding out and just started to clean it up there, and of course I found some more rust. Not so bad, but still needs to be treated. As you can see, it's just coming through the corners there. Then went to it with the wire wheel, cleaned up all the rust, prepped and then painted it. And now installing all the original insulation where the muffler is. And then the heat shield back in place. And now the side heat shield and this piece riveted back in place to hold it. Now reinstalling the muffler brackets. Putting back this lower piece and the grille using all the original screws and nuts. Some of the parts I need to change to go from a 4-speed to the 5-speed are these arms. You'll notice that the one on the top here has an indentation. That is for a 5-speed. I also need to change the hubs. You can see this one here is a little bit smaller for a 4-speed, and this is for a 5-speed. It's a bit easier to see on the shaft itself. You can see the one on the left is a lot bigger than the one on the right. But next time, I continue to work on the fuel tank. And as always, thanks for watching.